Hello friends! Kumusta kayo? How are you? Today is March 15. Kumusta? I hope you're all doing well, safe, and sound. I want to share this experience of a Filipino who went back to the US, wherein some of his fellow passengers were refused boarding, others had to get tested again at the airport. Let me share the story of Vince. Please read the rules for flying out of Manila. I sadly saw over 10 people, including 2 handicapped lolas, being sent out because they didn't know the US rule of testing 1 day prior is needed to go back. Most of the people are following the former 2-day rule of the Philippines. The checkers ask everyone in line one by one. If they don't have it, they may have to go back to PadLab near airport. It is a hassle, and it's not nice when the passengers take it out on the staff who are just doing their job. Simple. They were refused boarding or they had to get tested again simply because their test result was already invalid. Now, these travelers thought that the US testing requirement is the same as the Philippines. So they got tested 2 days before their trip. They got the right type of test, RT-PCR, antigen test, but they got tested too early. Nag-expire na yung result nila. Kasi if you compare it, actually, US entry requirements is much simpler than the Philippines. Although different yung testing talaga. Like for the Philippines, we have accepted 2 type of tests. That's RT-PCR and antigen test. For RT-PCR, 48 hours validity. While for antigen test, 24 hours validity. For USA, guys, RT-PCR and antigen tests are also accepted, pero same time validity. That is a day prior to departure. So let's say if your flight is at 1 p.m. on a Friday, you could board with a negative test that was taken anytime on Thursday. So anytime on Thursday. So they're not really strict na 24 hours. No, as long as a day before the flight, anytime before that day of your flight, or even on the day of your flight, valid pa rin siya. Diba? So this is really important that we check the requirements. You can do that by checking onto your airline's websites. It should be there. Like Philippine Airlines is very organized in showing the travel requirements for every countries. Even if you're not flying with Philippine Airlines, you can check that out if you want. But it's very clear, very simple. It outlines what you really need. And leaving the Philippines, guys, it's much simpler. Just be mindful of the testing requirements or certain forms that you have to fill out before leaving the country. Just so, for example, if you're going to Canada, going back to Canada, negative rapid antigen test a day prior to your scheduled flight is accepted, or a negative molecular test result taken no more than 72 hours before your flight. So just like the Philippines, no, they accept 2 types of tests with different validity ng time. While for countries that no longer requires negative test results like Saudi, UAE, UK, then hindi mo na kailangan ng negative test result. If you're fully vaccinated, you have accepted proof of vaccination, you have registered to the necessary app, no? Hindi na kailangan ng negative test result. Pero please check with your airline lang or layover country kung may requirements sila. If you're flying with Philippine Airlines, no problem. You will just follow your country of destination's requirements. If Philippines does not have testing requirements for exiting the country, wala na pong ganon. You will most of the time, just follow the requirements of your country of destination. Kung saan ka pupunta, ifa-follow mo lang. While Filipinos leaving the country on tourist visa, ganun pa rin po, kailangan pa rin ng round-trip ticket at travel and health insurance with COVID-19 coverage. Again, that is for Filipinos on tourist visas. Kailangan pa rin yung travel and health insurance with COVID-19 coverage. That has not changed. Kailangan pa din. For balikbayans, if you stay here for less than 1 year, walang problema. Ticket mo lang. At saka kung ano yung requirements ng destination mo, yun lang, madali lang. Kasi allowed naman ka na magstay ng 1 year. Basta hindi ka lang lumampas ng 1 year, walang problema. And if you ever want to stay longer than 1 year at you have balikbayan stamp, then you should apply for extension sa Bureau of Immigration Office. If more than 1 year yung stay na gusto mo. While, scam. There was a Bureau of Immigration press release today. It says, open borders see return of love scammers. Horrible. It's horrible when people who are just looking for love get scammed. According to the Bureau of Commissioner Jaime Morente, there are warnings against a syndicate that abused the vulnerability of Filipinos seeking biracial relationships. According to Jaime Morente, unsuspecting victims usually meet the syndicate members online who would wow them with small gifts, promises of international love, marriage. The fake foreign national will then claim to fly to the Philippines and marry the victim. Upon the scammer's supposed arrival in the Philippines, that scammer will claim, oh, I'm stuck here in the immigration, or I'm being held by government agencies. And then, can you please send me money? They confiscated my wallet, my cards. That's a scam. Plus, guys, Filipinas, kung may ka-chat kayong afam, always invite them for a video chat. If they avoid video chat completely, scam yan. Now, for Filipinos in the Philippines po, if you're ever here for a vacation, check if your passport is near expiration. Maybe you can renew it here. The Philippines Department of Foreign Affairs announced today that they will be reopening the courtesy lane in all consular offices, no? As long as you're fully vaxxed po and you are qualified for the courtesy lane. So you can just simply walk in for your Philippine passport renewal. So for example, senior citizens, pregnant applicants, you need proof, no, like medical certificates, solo parents, PWDs, minors, 7 years old and below, OFWs, pwede na mag-walk-in. So, it's much better, guys, kasi hirap talaga nung appointment. You can really feel that the Philippines is opening up a lot of activities. Even they want work from home arrangements to end. They want workers to go back to offices. And college students going back to university. Can you feel it like COVID is less and less being talked about, especially here in the Philippines, ever since DOH removed that daily updates for COVID cases. May COVID pa ba? Of course, we still have to be careful, no? Like, wear mask, hand sanitizer. It's still there. It's still lurking. COVID is still here, but it's still good news that, the cases are still very low and we feel safe compared before. So this is all for today, guys. Just all that you need to know for today, and not much. We haven't heard about the issuance of visa, the resumption, not yet. I think very soon, but I will let you know as soon as it is announced. Stay safe and God bless you.